Today, we're taking a day trip from Paris to the Normandie D-Day Beaches.
These are remnants of D-Day, right? That entire line.
And this time, we're taking our 20-year-old son, Charlie. Early this morning, we connected with our private guide and driver in Paris.
What's up, Fabien? You ready to go?
And drove 3 hours to Caen in Normandy. We'll visit the famous bunker in the War Memorial. We'll also stop by Arromanches, by Pointe du Hoc, and we'll pay our respect at the American Cemetery. And I'll show my son for the first time where my grandma used to live in Normandy and where I spent many summers as a kid.
That was my grandma's bedroom.
Taking our 20-year-old son to Normandy is going to be emotional for us. Of course, we'll have lunch in Bayeux, and we'll also try some cider and calvados at a local farm. Allez, on y va.
This is the museum at Caen, the memorial at Caen, and this is the largest of the museums in Normandy. They say this one is more dedicated to peace than war, but it's the war that brings us the peace. And just below us right now is the bunker, which, this was the headquarters of the German general here in Normandy.
Yeah.
So this is a kind of an interesting spot. All of this full of mines, and what did you say, like 4,000?
20 million.
20 million mines all along that coast of the
To protect the coast.
that's amazing.
Yeah. All right, so before we go to Arromanches, I would like to take Charlie to the place where I spent a lot of my childhood summers, which is in Saint-Aubin-sur-Mer, which is where the British and Canadian troops actually landed.
Yeah.
And can we do a little pit stop? Can you stop us?
Sounds good.
Saint-Aubin-sur-Mer. Let's go. I'll show you where I had summer candy and the beautiful beaches. Not like Florida, but you'll see my childhood. On y va. So this is Saint-Aubin. This is where I spent all my summers. Well, not all my summers, but many summers I came here. Further this way, there's a place where we used to buy a candy called Gigi, and I don't know if they still have it, but I remember it used to drive my mom crazy because every time I arrived here, I want a Gigi, I want a Gigi. I'm telling you, it's still there. It is closed. No, la Gigi. Instead of jalapeno on the stick, it's a candy. Yeah, it's a lollipop like that. And it's, just, that's the thing that I had when I was a kid. And then we went on the beach and you had to wait 2 hours after a meal. You remember those days? Let's go see my grandma's house. I'll show it to you. Yeah, so the thing is, the house is right there. This big, that big, yeah, the block. That was my grandma's home. Yeah, there it is. Côté Soleil. Yeah, you can rent it. It's a vacation home. There you go. Yeah, that has not changed at all. The same corner. That was my grandma's bedroom. We were on the other side. Yeah, there you go. And then you would come out the house and here's the ocean. Couldn't be any closer.
Next, en route to Bayeux.
This is one of the places that was not bombed in the war, so the buildings are all intact, and it has amazing restaurants and nightlife and shops and everything.
Santé.
Santé.
Santé. Et voilà.
Et le fish and chip. Merci.
And what I got here is the special of the day is a beef bourguignon, and I could have got it with pasta, but I like French fries, so I got my beef bourguignon with French fries because that's the little bit of American that's left in me.
That looks like a great bourguignon.
It is a great bourguignon. Oh wow, it's super soft.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me put a carrot with that. That's so tender. It's simple and it just melts in your mouth like butter.
And I got the fish and chips. Oh man, it's nice and crispy.
Oh, it's steaming.
Yeah. The steam coming off, a little bit of mayo. Thank you for British for coming and bailing the French out and coming on D-Day, so this is in your honor.
So I'm gonna get a cross section in here really quick because I think this burger is gonna look real nice. It's a bit messy, but yeah, we've got tomato, and we've got raclette cheese and French grass-fed beef. This is going to be a freaking burger.
After 3 years,
Show me what you got.
Man, it's got
a burger with a knife and fork.
onion confit, some tomato in there, the cheese and everything. It's got smoked bacon, plenty of flavor in there.
Pretty good? Well, cheers to you then.
Cheers.
Something.
Something.
Now, if you want to do a day trip to Normandy like we just did, you have 4 options. You have the pricey option, which is what we did with a private driver. You can do it as a group tour, which is in a minibus. You can rent a car and do it on your own, or you can take a train to Bayeux, and from there you will have a guide that will take you around. I put all these options on the webpage. There's a link in the description. Check it out and see if one is a good fit for you. So this is Arromanches. We're pretty much right smack in the middle of the D-Day Beaches, and this is a must stop. And the main reason why is because this is where they built Mulberry port, which was a makeshift port, which allowed them to basically unload tons of material, because there are 2 options for a port. There was Cherbourg and Caen. Both of them were heavily fortified. The Germans were not going to let them have it easy, and the British says, no problem, we'll bring the port. These barges here we see that are still there, these are remnants of D-Day, right? That entire line. 7,000 boats.
7,000 boats on one day.
On one day.
Dang.
4,300 warships, destroyers.
So just as a point of reference, this is one boat.
And that's a little cute boat. What's completely dumbfounding to me is that all of those thousands of boats were full of young men the age of my son.
Yeah, that's true.
That's...
Yeah.
I'm gonna start crying.
Right here, you see we were there at Saint-Aubin. This is where we went, and that's so Saint-Aubin was Canadian. The British were in Gold Beach and Sword Beach, so Saint-Aubin, I stand corrected, was Canadian. This is where the Canadians landed.
So there was no port, and then they arrived.
No port, so they decided to erect the harbor, bring quickly all the equipment.
I bet that was a big surprise to the Germans. I can't even imagine what it's like to be a soldier out here on a boat, and then I can see these stones. This is part of what they built?
Yeah. The Kenix.
Wow. That is an amazing feat of engineering.
After the bombing, remains.
So this was a cannon position, right?
Yeah, there was a big gun on top.
Over there was more like a mortar.
This is an amazing point of view, and I can imagine here was a cannon, basically, a defensive position. Yeah, and that makes sense. And I'm sure that all this shrubbery, I used the word shrubbery in a video. I just squeezed it in. I want a shrubbery. So all the shrubberies were cut off.
So we came here and we filmed before, and it's very different this time. But this time, being here with my son, my heart is breaking and bleeding, and I'm thankful, and just so many emotions going on to be here with my son, who's the age of all of the people who are climbing up on those beaches 80 years ago. It's really something remarkable to see kids playing here, like all of the freedom that goes with that after everything that happened here all those years ago.
Now we're going to the American Cemetery, which is right by Omaha Beach. We've been there before, but you cannot go to the D-Day Beaches without going to the American Cemetery and paying your respect. So this is what we're on our way to do.
Being here with Charlie was really meaningful. I kept thinking about all the moms whose sons never made it home. And Charlie said he was thinking that those guys could have been his school buddies. We walked with heavy hearts, hoping that nothing like this ever happens again.
Wow, that was pretty emotional again. And now we're gonna go to Pointe du Hoc, but before going there, we're gonna stop and appreciate some local delicacies at a local farm.
So what's the name of that bottle? Show me.
Aperitif, but in Normandy the name is Pomo.
Pomo. It's just apple liquor.
It has to mix now. When you make the aperitif, you use the new cider before it ferments.
Oui.
And you put the Calvados, not like this. The Calvados is very strong,
Ouais.
70%.
Oui, oui.
The alcohol kills the yeast, and
Okay.
the ferment is finished, it's blocked. And after you put the mix in the old barrel.
Right before we go to Pointe du Hoc, this is to all the young American, Canadians, and British soldiers and French soldiers that lost their lives in Normandy for our freedom today. So cheers to them.
Chin chin. So now we're going to Pointe du Hoc, which is one of the places that breaks my heart, and another one of the places that breaks my heart.
This is the hole of a bomb. That's a bomb that made that hole.
The sign back there said, I started out with 35 guys and only 6 made it to the top.
Wow.
And that's one small group. Want to see the view? Just imagine you just got off a boat and you're climbing up those cliffs, and there are soldiers with guns pointed at you as you're trying to climb the cliff.
So we should actually go and see that that monument, which I'm pretty much sure that is the Pointe du Hoc.
It looks like it.
It looks like Pointe du Hoc to me.
Let's go see.
Oh, let's go.
But clearly something happened here. That was
yeah.
us bombing. Those are our holes we made.
Bombing from the
Yeah.
warship from 10 miles away from here.
But the
Yeah.
the Germans were not here.
Well, yes, they were Germans, but not
Yes.
the guns. Artillery guns were not here.
They
They
took
were
them
supposed-
out already.
You know, like at
week
Long-sur-Mer, the 5 big guns that we
Yeah,
saw
yeah.
the last time.
But they were
They
supposed
thought there was 6 of them here, and then when they arrived here, there was actually none of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a pretty amazing bit of our nature down below. If you like this video on the Normandy beaches, next I would watch this one on Mont Saint-Michel or this one on more beautiful towns around Normandy.